What's up, music lovers? Thanks for clicking on my channel. Deep Purple is one of the foundational bands for hard rock and heavy metal, so I figured why not count down their 20 best songs, or at least their 20 best songs in my opinion. Before we start, if you like hard rock, heavy metal, progressive rock, music in general, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, all of that YouTube stuff. With that out of the way, let's get into it, and I'm warning you now, no, there's not going to be any smoke on the water for this top 20 list, so let's just start talking about some Deep Purple. And coming in at number 20 is April from Deep Purple, or sometimes also known as Deep Purple 3. This is such a revolutionary song in terms of blending classical music with rock. 8.5 minutes of what is essentially modern day classical music followed by like a hard rock song. Pretty groundbreaking, and a lot of it still holds up incredibly well. I think I respect this song more than I actually enjoy listening to it though, because it is a bit disjointed. Even still, it's an easy pick for being in the top 20. Coming in at number 20 is Black Knight from In Rock. Just a fantastic hard rock song from the early 1970s. I love the little stops. It has a great bluesy riff. What's not to love? Coming in at number 18 is When a Blind Man Cries, kind of from Machine Head. It was from the Machine Head recording sessions, but it didn't make the original album. It's crazy that this song didn't make the original album. I kind of get it because it would ruin the flow a bit. Even still though, When a Blind Man Cries is absolutely amazing. Ian Gillan gives such an emotional vocal performance, and I really love the solo by Ritchie Blackmore. It kind of is showing where he'd go with songs like Temple of the King from Rainbow. Coming in at number 17 is Fireball from Fireball. One of the great proto-thrash songs from the 1970s. Of course, Ian Pace's jazz-influenced drumming is the star of the show, but the rest of the band is just so tight in the pocket as well. And John Lord's tone for the organ solo is just perfect. I honestly can't believe Fireball is so low on the list, but hey, it's Deep Purple. They got a lot of great songs. Coming in at number 16 is Maybe I'm a Leo from Machine Head. Talk about playing in the pocket. This song is just like a masterclass in that. Ritchie Blackmore does these really great subtle bends in the verse, and the keyboard and the guitar parts during the verse choose the perfect moments to play against each other, as well as the perfect moments to just play in unison. And coming in at number 15 is A200 from Burn. I love instrumental music, and this song is one of the great overlooked instrumental classics from the 1970s. Glenn Hughes and Ian Pace just lay down such a driving rhythm with that main motif, and John Lord just has his keyboard parts soaring over them with those beautiful melodies. By the time Ritchie Blackmore starts soloing, I mean, that's just like the icing on the cake. By the way, if you like instrumental music and Deep Purple, you might really enjoy my song Waking Giant. There's a link below if you want to go check that out. It was kind of my version of a Deep Purple song. I mean, there's a lot of other influences in there, but that's one of the biggest ones. I usually mention it for most of my videos, but for this one in particular, if you're a fan of Deep Purple, I think that you'll really like that song as well, so go check it out if you want. Coming in at number 14 is Mistreated from Burn. What gets this song so high up for me is David Coverdale's emotional, soulful, and gritty vocal performance. As much as I love the Ian Gillan era, it's probably my favorite era, there's just this soulful, almost gospel or funk vibe to the David Coverdale albums that they never really replicate it, and this is a really good example of that. Coming in at number 13 is Soldier of Fortune from Stormbringer. Another absolutely beautiful, chill song, kind of like A Blind Man Cries, but I think that Soldier of Fortune is Deep Purple's best version of that kind of song. Ritchie Blackmore's reserved solo and the bridge is absolutely perfect. The chords are beautiful, and David Coverdale's vocal performance absolutely crushes it. Coming in at number 11 is Knocking at Your Back Door from Perfect Strangers. What a badass intro. Rest in peace, John Lord. It's so perfect how he just builds tension by having space between the notes and adding in those little stabs with the string section on the keyboard right before the song goes into one of Ritchie Blackmore's best riffs. Ian Gillan is also giving an amazing vocal performance, even if the lyrics are a little... I mean, the song's called Knocking at Your Back Door, so... whatever, the song is still absolutely incredible, and it's an easy pick for number 11. Number 10 is You Fool No One from Burn. That drum intro has so much swagger, and then it goes straight into the main hook of the song with David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes harmonizing together. Some of the high notes that Glenn hits on the chorus are absolutely insane, and then you have the added bonus of that unison band part right before going into the solo. Perfect. Coming in at number 9 is Space Truckin' from Machine Head. Earlier I threw a little bit of shade at Knocking at Your Back Door for having lyrics that are kind of stupid. But Space Truckin' has lyrics that are so ridiculous and silly that they kind of turn a corner and become just freaking awesome. It's a great intro riff and it's a great riff for the chorus, but the real star of the show for Space Truckin' is Ian Paice absolutely slaughtering it on the drums. I mean, from the beginning of the song to the end, Ian Paice is just an absolute monster, and by the time it gets to that drum feature towards the end, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, coming in at number 8 is Burn from the album Burn. Oh wow, another song with an absolutely insane drum performance. It's almost like Ian Paice is one of the greatest drummers of all time or something. An iconic, amazing riff, an insane drum performance, so much talent in both of the vocal performances, and then you have what is possibly my favorite keyboard and guitar section together. The harmonies are incredible. Burn is just one of the quintessential Deep Purple tracks. Coming in at number 7 is Highway Star from Machine Head. It was really hard deciding Burn and Highway Star, which one would beat out the other. I gave it to Highway Star by a smidge just for that guitar solo. I'm a guitar player, so I'm biased, but I do remember being like 12 or 13 years old. I had just started playing guitar. I was watching the documentary Classic Albums on VH1. They had an isolated track of that guitar solo, and pretty soon afterwards I started carrying my guitar around with me all the time like Squizgar Squig Elf or something. So for that reason, Highway Star beats out Burn, and it's number 7. Alright, coming at number 6 is Child in Time from In Rock. I'm surprised that this song wasn't higher on the list because for quite a while it was my favorite Deep Purple song. The keyboard intro has this great dramatic quality to it, and of all of Ian Gillan's vocal performances, this is probably his best. I don't think that a lot of people appreciate how much talent it takes to sing like this. Like, they get it, but I don't think they really get it until they sit in a recording booth for themselves and try to replicate songs like this. There are so many amazing Ian Gillan vocal performances, but if I had to pick one that cements him as a rock god, this would be it. Coming at number 5 is Stormbringer from the album Stormbringer. That keyboard intro, the main riff, and the chorus are more than enough to get this song up this high on the list. But what I really love is that you can see David Coverdale's improvement from Burn to Stormbringer. On Stormbringer, he sounds so much more confident and relaxed in the studio, and I just really appreciate seeing that growth. I mean, he was incredible on Burn, but on Stormbringer, he's even better. Coming in at number 4 is Sail Away from Burn. That riff is incredible, and from a production standpoint, the way the guitars and the organ are blended together on this song in particular might be the best they've ever been blended on any Deep Purple song. The way that Glenn and David Coverdale trade off during the verse only to come together and harmonize in the chorus is absolutely incredible. And once again, you have Glenn hitting some really insanely high notes as if they're effortless. Coming in at number 3 is Flight of the Rat from In Rock. This song, holy shit. This track has everything that makes up a great Deep Purple song, and kind of like Fireball and Highway Star, it kind of has a proto-thrash vibe to it where it's really fast and really aggressive, except it's 8.5 minutes long, so that just makes it better. You have like a 2-minute section of John Lord and Ritchie Blackmore trading off solos, and the organ solo in this might be John Lord's best. John Lord's solo on this song is just something amazing, even by his standards. All the elements that make Deep Purple unique are on this song, and yeah, Flight of the Rat is an absolutely mind-blowing epic from start to finish. Coming in at number 2 is Pictures from Home from Machine Head. First of all, Ian Paice's drum intro. Damn. The main riff is a great single-note melodic riff that is kind of like a Ritchie Blackmore staple. It's fast, it's hard-rocking, it's bluesy, it has some influence from classical music, and it's kind of, once again, like a proto-thrash metal song. And then you get that amazing bass solo by Roger Glover. I also always kind of assumed that Pictures from Home was the song that inspired Iron Maiden to write Where Eagles Dare. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just an observation. Pictures of Home is just 5 minutes of absolute perfection where you have 5 musicians who are absolute geniuses just showing off in one incredible song. Okay, and coming at number 1, the best Deep Purple song, at least according to me at this particular moment in time, is Speed King from In Rock. Everything I've said about the last few songs you can also say about Speed King, but what gives it the edge is the intensity of the verse, that amazing riff in the chorus, and then just the absolute perfection that is John Lord and Ritchie Blackmore trading off solos for this song in particular. This is that dynamic at its absolute best, and it's so incredible how the whole band pulls back a little bit and kind of brings down the volume so that John Lord and Ritchie Blackmore can trade off, and they trade off so seamlessly, it's almost as if it's just one solo, only for the whole band to start building up again when they're harmonizing together. And the way that Ian Gillan is just going ham on some of the vocals is so much fun to listen to. If you've only ever heard Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple and you have no idea why they're still inspiring musicians more than 50 years after their first album came out, go listen to Speed King, because it still holds up incredibly well. So those are the top 20 best Deep Purple songs, at least according to me. But enough about what I think. What are your favorite Deep Purple songs, and what are some absolute bangers that I left off the list? Deep Purple has so many eras, and I know that my list was really leaning heavily on their 70s output. So if there's any songs that I missed from their later career, like in the 80s or the 90s, let me know. If you want to check out my song Waking Giant, there's a link below. If you're a fan of Deep Purple, I think you'll really like that one. And if you enjoyed this video, there's probably another recommendation popping up somewhere here you might also like. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you at the next video.